the televised revolution. As we drift through outer space aboard the Absolution, with time back and active duty as captain, in charge of bringing superior
anime fans, comic book fans,
you came to the right place if you have a taste for animation and deep space space. Broadcast through your television, due to the progress of the bring back Toonami Twitter mission. The same block that brought us Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z is back, so stay tuned. I remember way back, never leaving my room. I stayed glued to my TV weekday afternoons.
Hey there, anime fans, comic book fans all around
I have a reason to use the TV in my room again. Cause every night I'll be tuning in since they going back to show in action tunes again.
Now I've gotten some
Toonami's back, bitches. Wait, did you say Toonami's back, bitches? That's the official hashtag if you missed it. To celebrate time's return to television. Yeah, Toonami's back, bitches. Wait, did you say Toonami's back, bitches? That's the official hashtag if you missed it. To celebrate time's return to television. Welcome to the Anime Action Fan Sanctuary.
And so what you're going to see is footage from Wizard World 2012. Now, this first video will feature the Stan Lee panel that I taped, or should I say recorded, at Wizard World 2012. It was on Saturday. Both these panels, later I'm going to show the CM Punk panel, but both of them had wacky occurrences. With CM Punk, I was caught in the middle, couldn't use a wire, and therefore had to hold the camera myself. So when you see that video, I apologize for a bit of the shakiness, but with this one, I had the camera stationary. I just think it'll be amazing to everybody just how rude so many people are that they don't see the camera that they're standing in front of. No, literally, you watch the video, you will see how many people just stand in front of the camera. But with all that being said, sit back and relax and enjoy the Stan Lee panel at Wizard World 2012.
Shoot, I'm not making this up, people, I swear to God. I know I saw her in my dreams, but... Claire, oh my God! So Claire, this is how this is going to work. Y'all are going to ask a question once you get up in line. Once you get up in line, no one's in line, and Claire is going to repeat the question for Stan, because Stan doesn't hear so good over this PA system. But you want to do the honors? Why don't you do the honors? Should she do the honors, or y'all heard enough of me, right?
Waiting so patiently, Stan. They've been so excited to see you. Let's go right to the mic. We can start with you, young sir.
All right. What if there are some questions I don't know the answer to? You'll see a grown man die up here.
I'm sure you'll come up with something.
Keep your questions easy. No, I'm only kidding. Make them as tough as you want, because I'll answer them wrong anyway.
All right, two really fast questions. First off, where's your favorite place to get a hot dog in New York? Because I need a few more places to eat while I'm going to go down there to visit.
Well, my favorite restaurant used to be a place, and they cut it called Nino's, and they went out of business, I learned years ago. So I don't know what to recommend, but when you come to Los Angeles, I can always tell you a few good places.
Alrighty, and so
I have a delicatessen called Late Now, and the food may not be good, but it's inexpensive.
And second question?
What were you doing in The Stand? The movie The Stand. I still have yet to figure that out.
What are we doing? Oh, The Stand movie. The movie about me, my documentary. Well, they're trying to decide whether to give it an Academy Award or a Nobel Peace Prize. Both, I like your attitude. Actually, we made this documentary, which embarrasses the hell out of me, but they insisted on doing it. And it's the story of my life, which everybody knows anyway. But there are a lot of shots of my wife in there, which most people haven't seen. And that dresses up the movie a little. And I don't know, it's going to probably play on TV, and it'll play on the internet, and in some selected theaters. See, people always say it'll be in some selected theaters, which means they couldn't get it into most of the theaters. But you'll see it advertised pretty soon, and if you have nothing better to do and you want to see something about me you didn't know, but my life has been an open book. I don't even know what questions you're going to ask. Everybody knows more about me than I know. It's getting embarrassing.
Is there anything that we don't know, Stan?
No. What you see is what you get, so you might as well leave now.
That's part of the appeal.
Why am I sitting down?
That's great. Okay, we'll go over to this mic now, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Check, mic check. First of all, thank you for coming here to Bishop World, Philadelphia. I'm with the Absolution Network, and we named a project that you did the Anime of the Year in 2010, that being Hero Man. I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about your involvement in the Hero Man franchise and when we could possibly see it dubbed here in America.
See, not only does she dress up the place beautifully, but I don't hear as well as I used to. So she tells me what the hell it is that you said. So keep your questions short, because she doesn't have a good memory. What's the Hero Man? In 2010, I did, what is it, wait, Max? Oh, the Japanese one. There's so many things. Yeah, I did a book in Japanese called Hero Man, and they were going to make an animated cartoon about it. I think they're still thinking about it. So in the next few years, if you see a Japanese animated cartoon, you can say, oh yeah, that's the one Stan didn't remember anything about at the convention.
All right. How about you over here?
Out of all the heroes that you created, which one do you relate to in real life?
Oh, I relate to all of them because there's a little bit of all of them in me. The grandeur and the wonder and the power and the charisma. I mean, it must be very obvious. I think I'm going to leave now because I see there are a few empty seats in the audience. I never speak to an audience where there are any empty seats. Yeah, next time I'd like you to do better. Okay.
You created Iron Man. You based him off of Howard Hughes. Is that correct?
That is correct. Absolutely correct.
Does that liken you to Howard Hughes?
Does it make me like Howard Hughes? Well, I have news for you, and I hate to admit this. Howard Hughes was quite a bit wealthier than I am. And he was also an inventive genius and an adventurer. Now, I'm sure I would be an adventurer if I had a chance to adventure, but I keep so busy going to comic book conventions.
All right, let's go to this question over here.
Yes, hi Stan, how are you?
You'll be always known as this question over here. Doesn't he or she have an identity?
Yes.
A fine thing.
I guess my first question is he. I have two questions, and one for you, Claire, as well. But Stan, what is your secret sauce? How is it possible that you, after so many years, are still so powerful, have so much energy, and just keep it going? I wish I had half your energy, sir.
I heard that. See, whenever somebody says something flattering, I hear it. No, it's funny. funny, some voices are in a range that I can understand. Some of them, when they talk into the mic, it sounds like this, I hear the sound, but I don't know what's being said. So anyway, I don't know about the energy bit, but what it is, I love what I do. I love being with the fans. I love writing comics. I love doing movies. I love being with them. So how could you not be having a good time when you're with the kind of people that you're crazy about, and they're all as enthusiastic as you are about all the things that are going on, whether it's movies or television or comic books or the internet. It's all so exciting that, I don't know, it's not like you're working. I feel like I'm playing all the time, especially when you're on the stage with someone like this.
You mentioned the internet. How has technology changed the process of creating? Has it changed anything for you, or?
Well, I don't think technology has created the process of creating. What it's done, it's allowed the things you create to be presented in so much a more exciting way. Now, for example, we could not have done the Avengers movie 20 years ago. There's no way all those things could have been seen on the screen. So technology is making entertainment more exciting. And I might add, entertainment, I'm going to be serious for 1 minute, which is not typical of me. Most of my life, my early life, I was a little bit embarrassed because I wrote comics, because I felt, you know, there are doctors treating people, and there are people building buildings and bridges and flying airplanes, and I'm writing these stupid comics. And little by little, as the days and the years went by, and people would say, gee, I enjoyed this story, or I loved that story, blah, blah, blah. And I began to realize that entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. Most people do not live. Thank you.
Well, yeah, Mr. I just wanted to say you are absolutely an inspiration for me, and hats off to you, and thank you so much for being you. And I wanted to maybe everybody give a round of applause.
Thank you, thank you. So anyway, I realize now that entertainment is important, and it fills a needed spot in people's lives. So all of you who are involved with comics and movies and television, you're all part of something that's very big and meaningful and entertaining, and thank you for letting me be a part of it too.
And just really quickly, Claire, I just wanted to know, I mean, I'm such a big fan. What do you do that makes you so hot?
I stand next to Stan.
I gave the hug on your behalf.
That's right. It was a by proxy hug. Let's go to you.
Hey Stan, question. I think Dr. Doom is the greatest villain ever. How did you think him up?
Can you repeat that for me?
Sure. A little bit about where did Dr. Doom come from?
Doctor
Strange? The only doctor I know is Dr. Strange. Doom! Did I miss something?
Dr. Doom from the Fantastic Four.
Dr. who? Doom? Yeah. Is there a Dr. Doom? Max, come here. This guy is my walking encyclopedia. What? Oh, Dr. Doom! I was just teasing you. I like to watch her look confused. Well, what was the question? Hey, another thing. I don't know if it's my hearing, but it sounds to me like every question is coming from over there. Is that the case? Are any of them coming? It came from there?
Yes.
And I'm looking that way. All right. Dr. Doom, what about him? Tell you about him? Okay. Dr. Doom has long been my favorite villain. First of all, I like his name. How can you beat a guy called Dr. Doom? And The thing I like about him, he is the king of his own country, Latveria. Now, I'm very proud of Latveria because I made up that name, and I swear it sounds like a real country. I've had people say, how do I buy a ticket to Latveria? It sounds so real. But the big thing about Dr. Doom, being a king, if he comes here to America and he commits a crime, he's got diplomatic immunity. We can't arrest him. Now you show me any other villain that can't be arrested because he's got diplomatic immunity. And that's why Marvel has always led the pack. We're different than the rest. That's why I like Dr. Doom. He's like a cool man. His whole armor, I mean, he's great looking. I don't get any credit for that. Kirby dreamed that up. He really drew a great Dr. Doom.
This time we're going over here, yep.
Hello, Stan. I got one quick question. How long did it take for you to realize that Spider-Man was going to be huge?
As soon as the fan mail started coming in, and as soon as the sales figures came in, you know, my publisher didn't want to do Spider-Man at all. He thought it was the worst name for a book you could ever get. He said, people hate spiders, you can't call the hero Spider-Man. So that's the reason I stuck Spider-Man into Amazing Fantasy when we introduced it. Because we were going to kill the Amazing Fantasy book. Where you're going to kill a book, nobody cares what you put in the last issue. The book is going to die anyway. So to get it out of my system, I threw Spider-Man in there. And about a month or two later, when the sales figures came in, my publisher said, you know, Stan, that character Spider-Man of yours that we both liked so much, how do we make it a series? And that's how a legend was born.
Okay, yes?
First question.
Thank you for coming, Stan.
You're welcome.
Is there a Marvel comic or Marvel character that you want to see as a major motion picture that other people at Marvel wish you would just let go of?
Kid.
Now, everybody at Marvel wants to do them all. The two I can't wait for though are Doctor Strange and Black Panther. And you'll be seeing them before you know it. Oh, and also Ant-Man is in the works. They think that's an inexpensive one. I mean, the guy is only that big. How much film will that need?
All right, let's go over here.
I just wanted to say thank you for creating Peter Parker, Stanley, because I think, I don't know where I'd be if I didn't grow up with Peter Parker. Just the geeky guy who can make it. So thank you very much. And
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't either. I kind of like Peter Parker, and the thing I liked about him was what my publisher hated. He not only hated the idea of calling him Spider-Man, but he said you can't have a hero who's a geek and who isn't that popular, and he's not that great looking, and girls don't like him. Stan, don't you know what a hero is? And he argued with me all the time until the sales figures. They said, we need more geek heroes.
And my question is just real quick. Which Spider-Man villain that you didn't create do you think, damn, I just wish I created him?
I can't think of any that I didn't create.
Thank you.
Thank you, and Excelsior, Stan.
Yeah. Excelsior.
Excelsior. Hey, do you all know what that means? It's from an old English saying, which means, and it's very apropos, it means, Upward and onward to greater glory. What could be better, huh?
Dan, do you have a definition for hero?
Stan Lee. I think a hero is anybody who just does something good when he's faced with a choice. Am I going to go on the dark side, or will I go on the right side and do? When you have a choice between the good and the bad, you pick the good, you're a hero. And it doesn't matter if you're a nurse working in a hospital, if you're a prize fighter, if you're a scientist, or if you're the President of the United States. The one who does things that are good is a hero. The ones who does things that are bad reach DC Comics. I'm only kidding.
Hi, Stan. I was wondering what your thoughts were on seeing two of your most popular creations go at it in Avengers vs. X-Men.
Oh, it's great. I used to do that in the comic books all the time. I'd have the Hulk fight Iron Man, or Spider-Man fight the Fantastic Four, or I fight her. It doesn't matter. It's always fun when heroes fight each other. And of course, I did it out of laziness. A new book would be, you know, these books were published every month, and we had, I don't know, 8 or 10 or 15 of them a month, whatever it was. It was a little hard to dream up a new villain all the time. So being a lazy guy, I'd say, well, I can't think of a villain right now, so I'll just let a couple of the heroes fight each other. You can always find an excuse. And that's how it happened. And all of a sudden, I realized people like that kind of fun. The thing that I get very often, if they'll come up and say, in great seriousness, who would win if the Hulk fought Thor? And I always would say it depends on who's writing the story. But people seem to love that business of heroes fighting each other, and who am I to go against what people want, right?
Exactly.
Tsunami's back, bitches. Wait, did you say Tsunami's back, bitches? That's the official hashtag if you missed it. To celebrate times, return to television. Yeah, Tsunami's back, bitches. Wait, did you say Tsunami's back, bitches? That's the official hashtag if you missed it. To celebrate times.